We have our school speakers, obviously dealing with education. We have our pastoral work, which is naturally support, which everybody needs. And then the celebrants sort of cover all the other bits and pieces in between. We have celebrants here in Northern Ireland that are trained to do naming ceremonies, weddings, and funerals. And initially, it was sort of thought that there wasn't going to be a very big uptake of it, that we wouldn't necessarily be that busy because, you know, Northern Ireland, religious society. Well, our doyen of death is not here at the moment. He has shoofied off to go to a meeting. Stuart, one of our celebrants, I trained with him last year in our funerals, and in the last 11 months, he's done 40 humanist funerals. I, this year, have done 20 weddings. Stuart has done roughly the same. We have roughly the same numbers on our books for next year, and that is now increasing because, joy of joys, as Boyd said, we're now legal. We're actually legal, and it's happening this month. And I'm really, really chuffed and really excited to be able to do this. I'm actually going to be doing the first one at the end of the month. Actually facilitated by the bride, who put her foot down and basically rang the registry office and cancelled the registrar and said, nope, these weddings are now legal. I don't care if I have to wait 6 months or 6 years for the paperwork to be sorted out. I want my wedding down as a humanist wedding. And the registrar went, alright then. And then about 4 hours later came back and went, we've created a piece of paperwork, you can do this now. So it's driven as much by us, but it's also driven by you guys, the people who want these services and who want these things happening. We can't do it without you basically sticking your heels down and saying we're not doing this anymore, we're going to do it another way. So yes, first legal wedding after the legal case, obviously, because Isabel did Ewan and Laura. And it's also on my 45th birthday. So much celebration. It's going really well. We're getting a lot of positive feedback. All our celebrants are extremely well trained. Not just the wedding celebrants and the funeral celebrants, but the naming celebrants as well. It is roughly a 5 to 6 month course from beginning to end. Isn't that right, Early? Roughly that? From when you enter your first assignment to when you get signed off. You have two, depending on where you do your course, you have 2 sequestered weekends where you're basically stuck in a hotel with a bunch of crazy people learning about how to do weddings or funerals. It is fantastic. It's very intense. It's very difficult. Humanists UK do not just sign you off and say away you go. There's a lot of people who don't actually finish the courses. There's a lot of people who aren't suitable and are told maybe you might want to consider a different part of the services that we provide. It's not easy. And some people get into it and then decide, actually this really isn't for me. I do this, and I know that all the others do it, because they believe sincerely that as humanists, we have the right to mark the important milestones in our lives with other people in a way that's suitable and appropriate to us and speaks to who we are. We celebrate weddings with families and those that we love, and we create weddings that are personal to our couples and to the communities that they're in and the people that are important to them. When we speak to families about funerals, we are focusing solely on the idea of celebrating the life of that individual, of acknowledging who they were and what they did and how much they meant to the people in the community that they served. And the great thing about humanist weddings is that they are not exclusionary. If there are religious people in your families, which Northern Ireland bound to be, you just need to throw a stick or throw a stone and you'll hit one. There are spaces for them within our ceremonies. We have spaces to allow people to feel comfortable. Moments where they can reflect either on the person that they loved or quietly offer up their own prayer without infringing on anybody else, or whatever else that feels appropriate to them and is part of who they are. And to me, that's the essence of humanism as well. That we don't ignore the fact that we don't sort of stand like a pimple and on the bum and go, we're different, we're separate, we're not part of you. We are. We're part of everybody. And the moments that we celebrate and the moments that the celebrants commit to and help everybody to celebrate are the big bits in everybody's life that connect all of us. So they're awesome. So if you want to train, if you ever fancy being a celebrant, or you think madly you might decide to get married someday, give us a call.